Well, hello there. I'm Adama Luciano in Toronto. He's David Bruno in Montreal. And this is the Max Statman Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. Thank you, as always, to our good friend Colo99 for that amazing intro. David Bruno, what a week. What
Fire
a day
intro.
it's been. What a week and what a day it's been. Obviously, we're going to get to the game here first, but, I mean, let's just touch quickly on...
And downs.
Let's just touch quickly on transfer market and what a day it's been with Cristiano Ronaldo. Rumors flying all over like crazy because of Kylian Mbappe and him going over to possibly Real Madrid and making the boyhood dream come true for him. But we are going to get to that story a little bit later on in the show. First, we're going to start with this, I don't know how else to put it, dramatic shit show. I don't know.
It's something out there, man.
First game of the season, Udinese versus Juventus. Dave, you want to bring up the starting lineups for Juve for us?
Let's do it.
Now, going into this game, the big shocker, of course, was the exclusion of Cristiano Ronaldo in this starting 11. And right after the team news dropped, we got a dramatic tweet from the very own Fabrizio Romano. And what did Fabri have to say? Well, he had to say that Cristiano asked not to start this game and to be placed on the bench because he is awaiting a transfer. That, of course, came from Fabrizio Romano right after the team news dropped. David, what were you thinking before this game even started? Team news comes out. We get the rumors first of the Ronaldo exclusion, then confirmed by Juventus themselves that Ronaldo was excluded, then the dramatic tweet from Fabrizio Romano and the report from Sky Sports saying that this was a request from CR7 himself saying, please bench me, I want out. Dave, take it away.
Andiamo. Here we go. Here we go again. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. When you have a legend in your team like that, there's always talk. There's always chatter. There's always clutter. But sometimes it gets to a point where there's too much. And it's kind of getting to that point right now. That's how I felt.
We can get more into that later on.
Oh,
but
we will.
We had Nedved come out on just before the game. Nedved spoke to DAZN, the new SerieA carrier in Italy, and he told them straight up, nope, we have decided 100%. That Cristiano is going to stay, and Cristiano has told us that he's going to stay. This is a tactical decision. Cristiano was a little bit tired. He wasn't fully fit, and he's going to start on the bench. And you know what? I got to say, to me, I call bullshit because Cristiano, not fully fit.
Yeah.
The dude was born fully fit, David Bruno.
Exactly. The guy, he trains all day, off season, on season. After training all day with the club, he goes home and continues to train. I mean, not fit. I found that a little bit unbelievable. And as we saw him on the game, on the pitch, he seemed pretty fit to me.
I mean, we can talk about Ronaldo's exclusion and go on and on and on about it, but let's talk about the players that were on the pitch that game. And it started with, I think, the back four was not really a surprise to anybody, as we had De Ligt, Bonucci, Alexandro. For some reason, this starting lineup also had Danilo in the back, which was the biggest surprise of them all to me. I thought Cuadrado would be the one to play the right back position, but that was the biggest shock. What did you feel, first of all, about that tactical decision, bringing Cuadrado up front and playing his national team role that you usually see him with Colombia? You think this was more to get Danilo into the lineup or to get Cuadrado up front?
I thought right away Max is going to be starting Cuadrado up front. Cuadrado was an attacker before. He just changed the number to an 11. we're not going to completely be seeing him in defense this year. And throughout the game, at one point, we did see him kind of drop back in the back, and it was kind of defending with 5 at the back at some points. And that's where Cuadrado kind of fit in. He was in the attack, but he would also run back and play the wing back on the right in defense as well. So that's a trick that Max has up his sleeve, and he doesn't need to start him in that wing back or that right back position for him to still play that throughout the game.
I saw a tweet that you had engaged in earlier this week. I don't know if you made the tweet or you had dropped a comment, but it was something about how Danilo being probably the greatest swap deal in the history of swap deal and taking a shot at Cancelo Stan, saying, look, this player Danilo, he can play everywhere.
Yeah, he can.
What a swap deal for real, right, David Bruno?
Yeah, for real. That was something I joined in. Somebody else on my list was making a comment, and I kind of joined in on it. And what Danilo doesn't have is that attacking threat that Cuadrado has. So we don't need 2 of the same types of players. But what Cuadrado or what Cancelo does not have is the fact that Danilo can be placed in almost any position in a somewhat defending manner and still perform very great. He was great at center back. He's able to fill in on the left and do pretty well. He's pretty sturdy. He's good on the right back. And I enjoyed seeing him in the 2 or 3 games where he played in that CDM position last year.
You even think he can play midfield?
Well, he played in that defensive midfield last year, and he looked great.
But you think he could actually sustain? You think he could sustain the role?
Do I think so? Well, I mean, we have Ramsey who's playing that role right now. We have Locatelli. We have Arthur who could be playing that role. So I mean, they're all above Danilo. But what I think is that he looked good when he played that role. He didn't bring what, let's say, a Danilo is going to bring in that. A Locatelli is going to bring in that role. Don't get me wrong. But he was able to manage it, sort of like what Ramsey, in my opinion, did. He managed it. He didn't look amazing, but he managed to play the position.
And that's what this starting lineup looks like to me. Is this a team full of utility players? And Danilo is one of those guys.
A lot of them, yeah.
Cuadrado is one of those guys.
Bernardeschi is now one of those guys.
Ramsey, one of those guys.
Bentancur. At times, he looked amazing.
At times, one of those guys.
Bentancur was a stud in this game.
It seems to me the only 3 players that you know where they're going to play in their position are basically Bonucci, De Ligt, and Szczesny. You know those guys are going to be center backs, and you know the one guy's going to be a keeper. Well, do we know the one guy's going to be a keeper? But we know that's the position they will be playing, and the rest is just who knows.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexandro at times we could see him playing up front. That's the type of utility he has.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that attacking boost or those like the ability to make those dangerous crosses in the box. I mean, he'll more kind of run up on the, in my opinion, run up on the wing, hold the ball up, play the ball back to a midfielder, and then we'll try to attack from there, right? I mean, he'll make the pass sometimes, but he doesn't have it in him.
Let's talk about the midfield for this game. And it seems like it's the only part of the field that, you know, everyone who was predicting the starting 11 got right. He went with the exact same lineup that he went with the last real preseason game against Atalanta, where he went with Bernardeschi, surprisingly, on the left side instead of the right, put Ramsey Regista, and then Bentancur on the right side. And I got to say, for that game against Atalanta, that midfield did work kind of well. Bentancur did great on the right. Ramsey kind of proved that he could play the Regista role, but should we get into the breaking news about Aaron Ramsey before we go any further? And what a tragedy it is for his career that once again, you know, it looked like he can play this position in the middle, but Ramsey, the story of his career, Dave, he's hurt again, and he's going to be out for a number of weeks.
Couple of weeks, yeah. For him, I believe it was a tear in his thigh, adductor.
Yep.
Yep.
It's unfortunate, but how did you think that he did in this game, especially in the first half, Ramsey? Are we going to be missing a lot?
In the first half is where he was okay. Look, he managed to play the position. He wasn't standing out. He didn't make any incredible passes, create incredible space. I didn't see any crazy tackles, but he was running back on defense. He was able to tie guys up. He was able to pass those sideways passes to his partners in the midfield, to the defense, get the ball from Bonucci, who actually had a nice couple of nice long balls this game too.
He did.
I mean, look, Ramsey, did he look like shit? No. Was he fantastic? No. Did he do the job? Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Me too. Bernardeschi, another polarizing figure amongst Juventini. And again, this game, Dave, he looked like he just did against Atalanta, where he looked fine on that left side.
He didn't get that much.
Bernardeschi?
He didn't have that many dangerous chances. He didn't have the ball in, the most dangerous areas. He was there and made a couple of passes. Again, another guy who didn't particularly stand out during the match, but he was somehow able to make it work, right?
Let's talk about the forwards now. We already got into Cuadrado, how we were shocked to see him playing his natural position. But I think the bigger shock, obviously, we touched on Ronaldo not being there and going with this formation of Dybala playing on the left side and Morata playing the traditional striker role. Now, the big thing for me was seeing Dybala without Ronaldo. And it was been a long time since we've seen a Dybala without Ronaldo playing what I would say his natural position, given the free role, the free space, and it paid off big time early, as in the second minute of the game. Yeah. There's a ball that gets crossed into Dybala in the box, and with his quick left foot, he places it in the corner, and Juventus get off to probably the best start you could get off to in any season, Dave.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. A nice little ball on the right side of the box. So Cuadrado plays a nice little pass to the Bentancur. Tic-tac-toe, man. Dybala in the net. It's beautiful. I was ready. I was pumped. I was like, okay, we're going to score a couple this game. This is going to be a really comfortable game.
Now,
turned out to be something else.
Can we just talk about the big story of this first half and basically how it was Paulo Dybala's game? He was in on the second goal. He takes the ball from even past our own mid, flies it in there to Panita, who gets the ball on the right side, takes it down, beats his man easily, and just fires it into the left low corner. Dave, that's your man. Talk about Juan Cuadrado.
Well, first of all, I want to talk about the pass.
Yes.
That pass. That
kind of reminded me of Locatelli.
Locatelli reminded me of Locatelli passing.
Well, no. Remember Locatelli's long ball to, who was it?
Was it Berardi?
Berardi on the right side.
Oh, memories are coming back.
It kind of reminded me of that. And then you see it from a guy like Paulo Dybala playing it in the counter-attacking role. My goodness. It made me forget that Ronaldo was even benched.
I mean, it was great. And Cuadrado looked like he could have played a pass to Morata, who was kind of waiting, expecting the ball on the left or maybe a rebound or something. And very clinical when you need him. Got that goal for us, and now we're 2-0. We're up 2-0, and all we need to do is control this game or add to it.
And I got to tell you, Dave, maybe in the second half, okay, you say control the game. Maybe we weren't controlling the game in the second half, but I felt like we had the game under control, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, me too. I get what you're saying, because I felt that the main thing I saw in this Allegri side is that there's a lot less pressing, which we already know about. We like to be more passive, sit back, wait for little mistakes or dangerous areas in our end, and we'll take the ball away.
Opportunities.
Yeah, it is. It's not that beautiful football, but okay, we'll forget about that. We're past that. We've got a serial winner back behind the bench. I felt that we allowed Udinese to have a little bit too much of the ball. I would have liked to see a bit more of the ball. I noticed random players running up, pressing a little bit. Morata was a bit of an engine in the first half, a little bit more than the second half. So we did see it a bit at times. To try to force a mistake. Otherwise, we just wait until they slip a bit closer to on our half of the pitch, and we'll try to make a play and turn a goal out of that, right?
And Dave, I gotta tell you, right now, talking to you on Tuesday night, it still hasn't hit me yet that Juventus actually tied this game, Dave. Yeah. I still feel like we won the game. Do you have a similar feeling to me?
Well, I mean, we played a pretty good game. We played a really good game. We deserved the points. Unfortunately, we didn't get them due to reasons beyond the team.
Do we want to speak about those reasons right now?
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. Szczesny made a couple of mistakes, and it costed us the 2 points.
Who was the Udinese player again who took the shot? Arslan gets in the box. He takes wasn't looking like a too heavy of a shot, but it was a shot. And Szczesny gives up this insane rebound. And I tweeted out right away, how does Tech even give up that rebound? And he makes 2 mistakes in one play. First mistake was giving up the rebound in the first place. And the second mistake was not trusting his defenders to be there to clean up his mess and attacking Arslan and basically taking him out, getting the yellow card.
Yeah, it was a late dive, right? It's a late recovery.
Late dive. I think he's lucky to even get a yellow. He could have been shown red. And Udinese are given the spot foul, which Pereira
one of our old player of ours, right?
Of course, and he easily buried it. It's 2-1. But even at that time, I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, this is probably the best way we could let in a goal. Szczesny F's up. Don't worry, we got this thing under control still. That'll make us wake up, and we got we'll get it going. And it really felt that way. We missed chances.
No,
we had Ronaldo. We had Ronaldo coming off the bench with a big header opportunity. Goes wide. Morata, same thing. Hits the post. Dybala could have finished a couple of chances. Not too big of a deal. But then the big gaffe happens. Pass back to from Sandro to Tech. Tech gets the ball. Instead of giving it to the outlet pass to the defender on the right side, I believe it was Chiellini who had just come on. Instead of giving it to him, what does he do? He thinks he's a player. He thinks he's an out player. He tries to fake a pass, cuts back in. The player's all over him. They steal the ball. Boom. Back of the net. It's 2-2.
Danilo. He could have passed the ball straight to Danilo. I was looking at my notes because I remember I wrote that down because I rewind that goal.
I thought it for some reason I thought it was Chiellini who just
No, but Chiellini, I think he was on the pitch at that point.
If you look at the replay, Dave, Danilo is wide open.
And he was like, I don't know, like 10, 15 yards in front of him, like literally a straight pass. A first touch pass. Look, Szczesny crashed under pressure. I made a joke with you earlier that he reminded me of the Montreal Canadiens hockey team, Carey Price. He would always go outside the back of the net, try to play the puck, always fall down or something clumsy like that, and it would always be a goal. And honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking the second I saw that. The second I saw him go out and play that little pass behind his legs, it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? Kick it out.
I was just
thinking, just kicked it right out behind himself.
I was thinking this is the exact same Tech we saw on Euros Day. This is the exact same Tech we saw a little bit last season. We saw in Euros, and now we're seeing it with Juventus.
Yeah.
And I got to say, Dave, there's no more excuses. Get your head out of your ass. You are a professional. I mean, this guy was a top goalie at top keeper at Arsenal. Juventus give him the huge. Juventus give him the huge contract. He comes over here, and to me, he's been very unprofessional, Dave. And I say that maybe because we were used to Buffon all those years.
He's something else,
right? But like I told you in the chat, Dave, I am friends with a lot of Polish people, and the Polish people I know, they are warriors. They have spirit. They're fighters. I don't see that in Szczesny, Dave. I don't see that at all. And for me, I'm done defending the guy. I mean, yes, we have to support all our players. We do. But, when the 10 guys who are actually the ones running the whole game, working their ass off the whole game, when they're doing that for you and they give you a stellar performance up front, I'm sorry, Tech, you can't blow it. And not only did he blow it once, he blew it twice. And at this level, it's unacceptable. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, every player is going to make a mistake. Even Ronaldo can play a bad pass or whatnot. We've had Kulusevski, we've had Bentancur, We've had, I believe, Cuadrado playing bad passes last year that led to goals. So, look, anyone can make a mistake. That being said, to make 2 mistakes like that in the game, it's as if after the first mistake he was just shaky, but was he really? Because he made a couple of saves, one diving a little bit. I mean, the balls were somewhat at him at the same time, but he shouldn't be making those mistakes. And the second one was just like, come on, man, honestly, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, he's had a confidence issue since some point last year. He was unable to keep clean sheets, but he was a good goalkeeper. He has it in him to be a good goalkeeper. He's got skills.
But what about his attitude, Dave?
Hang on. He played a couple of great years for us, right? Right now, since last year, I was very vocal. I was like, look, Buffon's outplaying him. He should be starting. So if Perrin outplays Tech this year, then fine, he should be playing. When it comes to his professionalism, I'm not going to question. I'm not going to question his professionalism. He is a professional. Whether he smokes a cigarette every now and then, people do smoke cigarettes.
Not professionals. I'm asking you about his attitude.
I don't like this attitude. I didn't like the smirk. I didn't like the smirk after the second goal that he thought was offside. He had a cocky smirk. It's
even
offside.
Even if it was offside, Dave. Even if it was offside. But even if it was,
he should have been upset with himself for playing that stupid little pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's not going anywhere. We're not bringing anyone else in. Overall, he's a better keeper than Perrin, who it's his opportunity right now to try to seize that number 1. But if he can't,
does that really matter right now, though, Dave? Does that really matter right now when Tech is giving us performance after performance after performance like this? Wouldn't you say that just to put in for disciplinary reasons to say, listen, dude, you need to get your head out of your ass.
Not for disciplinary reasons, as for an opportunity for Perrin to maybe potentially have that number 1, because that number 1, in my opinion, hasn't been completely locked to Tech.
Can I get back to the point that you made before that great point that you made just before that? You had said something like all the people last year saying, you know what, we need Buffon. Buffon should be starting. Buffon should be starting.
Last year, that was my point.
And a lot of those same people who are saying Buffon should be starting are coming back to me telling me, but Adam, Perrin shouldn't start. Perrin's not good enough. How is Buffon good enough to be starting for Juve last season, but Perrin is not good enough to be starting this season? I mean, if you look at statistically,
he's not Buffon.
Dave, statistically,
it's not him, man.
Statistically, Perrin had a better season than Szczesny. Save percentage-wise, and he did not even make any mistakes.
That's why
people say that's the big deal about Perrin. He makes mistakes. Last year for Genoa, not many at all.
What he needs to do is take this as an opportunity to potentially be the number 1, right? He was taken at one point. We did sign him at one point, right?
Yep.
So if
he can get in there, show that Italian passion.
Exactly. But I want to get back to what I was saying before. Right now, Szczesny has had a confidence issue since last year. Same time, this is a mental aspect, like Morata, who goes through these crazy spells where his confidence is at an ultimate low. We saw it in that one the game with Poland where he played horrible. Unfortunately, the first game, same thing. We can't break him right now either. Like we're stuck with him, so we have no choice. We got to support the guy, and again, he can be a great keeper. So this is a confidence mental thing that he needs to find a way to sort out because we need him at his best. And when he's playing like this, then we don't want. I personally would give the opportunity to somebody else to try and show what they can do, maybe even earn that spot. So Tech needs to sort his shit out, but I'll still support him. He's our guy. We're not replacing him this season.
Can we talk about the team overall, though, Dave? I mean, sure. I have no worries. The fact that we tied this game 2-2, and maybe Ronaldo might not be around this club. I still have, after watching that game, Dave. After watching that game, Dave, I was actually pretty happy, and I have no worries. And I'm sticking with my prediction. Juventus is winning the Scudetto this year. Go ahead, sir.
Number one. Yeah, same thing. We're gonna win the Scudetto. Look, it's the first game. I mean, people are freaking out. I think I saw people saying things about Allegri should be fired. Like,
No.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like,
we got Empoli this Saturday.
We won the damn game.
We got Empoli this Saturday.
And we hit 2 posts. We hit 2 posts too in that game. That's another thing we can't forget.
We got Empoli at home on Saturday.
We're gonna smash them.
2:45 our time, 8:45 in Italy, and I have no doubts we're gonna smash them. I predict a 4-0 victory. Dave, what do you say about the Empoli game?
I say, no matter who's in nets, we win that game. We're going to see if Ronaldo doesn't move, like if Ronaldo doesn't sign to the next.
Some tech issues with Dave, but I'm just going to add to the point that if Ronaldo isn't in the lineup on Saturday, it's no big deal. I still see it as Dybala's team this season. I still see it as Dybala's team going forward. Before we get to the next topic, I wanted to close this with a Monblano report, which stated that Wojtek Szczesny got into an automobile collision after the game. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true or not, or if it's fact. But if it is fact, Dave, I mean, this is just another sign of his clumsiness.
What did you say? Look, man. First, I have no clue what happened. I don't see an official report. I even looked it up. I found a Polish article about it, quoting Monblano. Monblano says a lot of stuff. I don't even pay attention to Monblano. He can be right sometimes, and he's very wrong sometimes, even when he's 99.9% sure. Maybe Tech did get into a little bit of a fender bumper. He hit someone's bumper, or someone hit his bumper. He obviously had a lot on his mind. He was probably pissed off at himself for those mistakes he made in the game.
Yep. Well, can we put this game to rest and focus on Empoli coming up? And, of course, we're going to get to our next topic now, which is the big news of this day, this Tuesday, and is Cristiano Ronaldo rumors. And I don't know if we can really speak about the Cristiano Ronaldo rumors without speaking about the Kylian Mbappe rumors. And that is for the reason of, as if Kylian Mbappe gets his boyhood dream and he goes to Real Madrid, I got to tell you, Dave, I think it's a done deal. Ronaldo to PSG. Just like that. Fabrizio Romano dropping the tweet earlier this afternoon saying that Real Madrid had submitted their first bid for the player, and it was a big one, Dave. 160 million euros, which we heard was quickly rejected by PSG.
Yeah. And we saw this.
And then we saw this. Please bring up that Madrid Zone tweet so I can see it clearly. Yes. If Real Madrid offers around 200 million euros for Kylian Mbappe, PSG would seriously consider selling him. At the moment, PSG's public stance is that they are not considering a sale, although it would be nothing more than a negotiation tactic. And that's exactly right. It's just a negotiation tactic because we already know David Bruno, the player, Kylian Mbappe, he wants
out. He wants it. His heart's set on Real Madrid.
He believes in himself, and he believes that if he goes, even with a super team, he says, nope, I want to go to Real Madrid. I want to fulfill my boyhood dream. When I win the UEFA Champions League for the first time, I want it to be like my idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, in a Real Madrid uniform. And I really believe this deal is days away from happening. Yeah, and if it does happen, I'll tell you right now, Dave, I believe in my heart, and I even tweeted this out today because it makes too much sense for all the parties involved, that 200 million euros for a player who says, I'm gone? Dude, they're going to take the offer and then buy Ronaldo for pennies on the dollar. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that PSG, with the money that they have, from their oil money that they do have, they're so rich that they could afford to let Mbappe leave for free. Yep. Just through hard-headedness. Just through hard-headedness, just because they told him no. But they're businessmen at the end of the day. So are you really going to let that walk away when you have $160 million offers potentially a $200 million offer coming in the next couple of days, are you really going to let someone walk away when you can take that money, that kind of cash, right?
Of course not. And of course, there was another rumor today that, well, this has been going on for a couple of days now, that Man City is working on a deal to bring Cristiano Ronaldo over. But of course, Fabrizio Romano then tweeted out later after that that there is nothing advanced between Manchester City and Cristiano Ronaldo. No talks. I have to say, I don't believe it. I think there is something there. I think there is something there, Dave.
I don't like it.
And I think Juve would get rid of the player to Manchester City.
Yes.
There was reports, and I don't know if you have that tweet up there, but there was reports that the only way Juventus would the only way the Juventus would give Ronaldo to Manchester City is if they give us 25 million euros or Jesus. Gabriel.
We don't have that one up.
Someone we know, we don't have that one up, but
no,
someone we know. That's fine. Someone we know Juventus has wanted for a while now. Well, not that we know that they've wanted, but we've heard in certain circles that Juventus has had their eye on, and they fancy the player Gabriel Jesus. Mm-hmm. Dave, if that deal, if Manchester City were to offer Juventus Gabriel Jesus for Cristiano Ronaldo, would you do it?
I would do it over the Icardi.
Over the Icardi. Of course I would do it over the Icardi.
I would even do it over the Icardi. Jesus is younger. Jesus will score a little bit less goals, but Jesus is more that Firmino, Benzema, hold-up guys to allow his elite wingers to come in, have more space, play the pass to them, score the goal. I think Jesus he's good for, he can get you 15, 18 goals at his prime and maybe 10 assists. I think he's a good player. He's decent.
Looking back, Dave, at Allegri's formation,
I do it.
I gotta tell you now. I think the exclusion of Cristiano Ronaldo, there's more to that, and there's got to be
more freedom.
I mean, but I'm just I'm not talking about tactically
more freedom
wise.
Okay,
I'm not talking tactically wise. I'm talking what it meant towards this Mercato. And I think it means that Juventus are really preparing for life without Cristiano, and they really see Cristiano, a transfer happening from, as a very big possibility. Because I don't think there's any way they don't start Cristiano Ronaldo. Come on. And to say that he wasn't fit, Cristiano Ronaldo not fit,
a bit weird. It was a bit of a weird one.
If he doesn't start against Empoli, we'll get our answer.
Yeah, but then hang on. Then Nedved coming out and saying that he's 100% staying after the match just to squash any potential rumors or disgruntledness.
It looks like Nedved is the new Paratici.
But I mean, look, the way I see it is that I always had a feeling that Mbappe will join Real Madrid this summer at the end of, literally right at the end of the transfer window. And then I always thought that, forget about the Messi saga. Even before Messi was in the picture, right? There was the flirtations between Ronaldo, the offerings of Mendes to PSG. We all knew that Ronaldo was a bit upset with Juve, and it's fine. I mean, look, he has a big ambition too, and maybe we can continue our ambition and fulfill our goals.
Yeah, let's clear the table
here,
Dave. Let's just say it straight up. If Cristiano Ronaldo leaves the club, me and you, Max Statman, as an organization, we ain't bitter about this.
No, I mean, no.
We praise the player. We will give him his,
of course. Much respect
farewell,
for coming over.
Much respect.
Yeah, he did a lot of beautiful goals.
Business is business. We're old enough and mature enough to understand that. Business is business.
We won a couple of titles with him. He gave us a lot of memories, a lot of goals. We had a legend.
Over 100.
Guys, we had a GOAT come and play on our team. We dealt with, a little bit of nonsense, sometimes poor attitude, some drops of form. But overall, I mean, I'm happy that he came over. It's great. We got to have a legend play on our team. And that helped our team boost our team financially, boost our name around the globe a little bit as well. Whether people will leave, people will stay. But at the end of the day, right, it didn't work out. I think it's safe to say that. It didn't work out to what we wanted it to.
So before we wrap up this Cristiano Ronaldo segment in this whole saga, I hope to put it to bed, this whole thing to bed.
Yeah, I'm getting... I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm getting sick of all the bullshit
Me
and
too.
all the drama. And I'm not saying it's him or blaming him. I don't want fans to think that we're blaming the player or anything. It's nothing to do with that. It's just fucking this team and then that team and then this guy and then that guy. And then sometimes like not sitting on the bench with your teammates. That can add some fire to the flame. Some gas to the fire. Sorry,
Fuel
guys.
to the fire.
Think too fast, but yeah, man, at the end of the day, go play where you want to play. Be happy.
I wanted to ask you this question before we wrap this whole Ronaldo topic up. If Manchester City doesn't get Harry Kane, because that's what I think this is all going to come down to. I think it's come down to two things. It's going to come down to I think Dave, he's going to go. I think he's going to go. I
felt it since last season that he was
Juventus have already lost a lot of money, and I'm not saying it's Ronaldo's fault, but saying the Ronaldo
he helped us make money. Yes, actually,
he helped us make money. But where it all went wrong was, and it's not his fault, was COVID
and everything. Yeah,
and unfortunately, because of COVID, it had to make Juventus change their business plan. And their business plan right now is Cristiano Ronaldo has 1 year left. After June 30th, he's free to go wherever he wants.
That's right.
And with Juventus, I mean, look how much money we paid to get the player, Dave. 100 million to Real Madrid, plus 31 million euros to the player every year. That's well over in an excess of almost $250 million Juventus were in debt that needed to pay off in 4 years. Mm-hmm. Now, we've already paid off a large sum of that, but to be paid to the club and player is around 60 million euros. If Juventus can get that off the book this summer, knowing that Ronaldo ain't coming back, Dave, I gotta say, it's fantastic
maybe make some
business.
moves.
And I see at the last minute, he's either gonna go, if it's gonna come down to this, either Mbappe goes to Madrid or Harry Kane doesn't go to Manchester City. And if those two things happen, where Kane doesn't go to City, I think they'll make that big splash with Ronaldo.
I don't like that one. I just don't like that one because he really became a player at Manchester United. So picture someone really becoming a player at Juve and then in their twilight years deciding to go and play for Mercato.
Yep.
That's the way I see it. I don't like it. It tarnishes his reputation in the Prem. I don't like it, guys. I don't like that one. I don't see Ronaldo as a mercenary. That would kind of be like a mercenary move. It's like, I just need to get out of Juve, and that's the only thing.
No, he's a big player that wants to play on a big club, and
I don't like that.
Right now, Juventus, we're rebuilding, Dave. I think we're a rebuilding project.
Oh yeah, of course, it's been clear. And you don't sign Ronaldo if you're going to rebuild a team.
No.
You sign Ronaldo if you have the team and you just want to add a couple of pieces, which that's what didn't work out.
Exactly.
That's where it went wrong.
Should we move on to Texas boy Weston McKennie?
Let's do it.
So last Thursday, we were talking about the original rumors that came up that Maurizio said that Weston McKennie would be on the market if anyone would be willing to pay in excess of 30 million euros, which we got the player for 17 from Schalke. That would be about a 15 million euro profit, 13 million, whatever. We both shut it down and said, this sounds stupid. But then early this week, we got teams. We got two teams from the Premier League.
Well, I said it makes sense. I said
Tottenham, and we got Aston Villa. So what do you think of that, Dave?
Well, I said from the beginning, I mean, if Juve get an offer from 30 to 40 million, they're going to take it seriously and potentially flip the player. And we have other players like Fagioli waiting to get in. But Tottenham, I mean, Paratici knows him well. He's the one who brought him to Juve. He's the one who brought him into Juve, so he obviously knows the player very well. He has a certain image of what he sees that player can develop into being, and he sees him as an asset, and he wants to bring him to his team, right? Everton, another team which, they were interested in Demiral at one point. They got Moise Kean from us. So they have a history of doing business with us as well. And even Delafou, who scored against us, off topic, playing for Udinese right now, actually played for them at one point too.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they're a team that they like rent players. They'll like get a player from here for a bit, flip him from here for a bit, flip him. Like how they have James, who's probably going to leave. I could see him going there. I mean, English is his first language. The Premier League is the biggest English market in the world. He can be a bit of a physical player. He could probably play in the Premier League. He's a young player who can develop well. And I've already said that under Max Allegri, I see him taking advantage and exploiting the fact that he can get into dangerous areas in the opponent's box and score a goal from time to time. So I don't think he would be like a Vidal, who we never replaced. Never got another amazing player like Vidal once he left. But I could see him kind of like we said last time, both Adam and I, kind of a Khedira when he was scoring goals. So he has upside. He has sloppy passes. We spoke about it last week. I think that if an offer around 40 million comes in, we need money and we sacrifice him. He gets sold.
You think with the Ramsey injury that maybe puts a pause on any transfer deal? Not that they played the same position, but I mean, Allegri was using Ramsey as depth and, moving guys around now. I mean, we'll probably have Locatelli going to have to play that position.
Well, it might turn into his position.
It might turn into his position starting this Saturday against Empoli. And because of that, we need the depth, Dave. We need the depth.
Yeah, no, I know we need depth for sure.
And to me, it doesn't make sense only not because we don't need the cash and the cash wouldn't be nice, but it doesn't make sense because McKennie is a player we need this season.
Not only from a marketing perspective,
not only
guys,
not
because
only
he helps unlock that American market.
I don't think of him as a marketing player at all.
I know. I'm just saying it for the people. I know you don't, Adam. Come on,
of course
I know. But yeah, look. At the end of the day, McKennie, he can play a good role under Max. I don't see him a starter. I see him as a depth role, a sub. He's still developing. He's still growing as a player. There's the rumor of Ndombele swap with McKennie or a Sissoko swap with McKennie. Sissoko, I think he's 31, 32 years old.
Good locker room guy.
Don't quote me on it. He's older. He's a defensive player. He's decent.
He would
actually,
be like bringing back Dave.
Regressive.
He would be like bringing back Blaise Matuidi. Let's be honest.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. A player who plays that kind of role.
Great locker room guy. Great locker room guy. Will he will die for his teammates.
Might have a good year and then he'll decline.
But I mean, I don't want Sissoko now, bro.
No, we don't need him. No. Of course not.
We don't need Sissoko.
Of course not.
Be honest.
At the end of the day, we still need that attacking midfielder.
Dembele?
Is what we really need.
That's where Dembele.
Ndombele.
Ndombele, sorry.
I might say it wrong, guys. Actually,
that's where because he never really fit in at Tottenham. He never has.
He can score some goals, but
he can score some goals.
But they question the attitude of the player.
We've seen him do it in the Uber Eats League. We've seen it do. He even plays well for France. So I just think he never fit in well in Tottenham, and it's not his fault, Dave. It's the history.
They question his attitude.
It's the history of the Tottenham. So I think that if any swap deal revolving those two players, I would go for it.
Well, yeah, obviously you go for the younger player with more upside, hands down, 100%.
Is he younger than McKennie?
No, I think he's. Hang on, I'll let you know. It's probably. I'm gonna say he's 25.
Yeah, he's got to be a couple. He's got to be a couple years older.
Tanguy and Ndombele. Let's see.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would do the deal in a heartbeat. I would do the deal.
He is 20. Yeah, he's 24.
24. He's almost the same age as McKennie.
Yeah. But again, his attitude. He's fallen out with coaches before, and
he hasn't really fallen out with coaches.
That's what they say. He was
never given a chance in the first place. Look at his coaches who he had.
Mourinho gave him a shot.
He had Pochettino, and he had Mourinho. And even with Mourinho, Dave, he did give him a shot, but took him a while. It took him months before he actually saw time on that team.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's a player that if he comes to Juve, he plays right away.
Well, to be honest, we see rumors of McKennie having some little attitude issues too. So replace a one. It's like replacing a one for a one, right? I mean, maybe it works out great for both players.
McKennie's another player in the Juve fan base who basically is like has fanboys of his own.
Of course.
Very surprised to see that, because if he gets sold,
cool.
there's going to be a lot of upset Juventini. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that these Juventini will jump ship and go to Tottenham.
No.
I'm not going that far, but I mean, this dude's got a lot of fanboys, and if they have the balls to make this deal, it's going to break a lot of hearts, a lot of friends of ours' hearts.
He's had some good moments. I mean, like I said, I see some upside on him. He's not great at passing, but he could be somewhat of an attacking midfield is what I see. The other thing is if he gets flipped, Awar is still available. The guy who we've also had his name in our mouth for probably 3 years now. Still a very young player, good attacking upside, great potential, could fit into the team. Does it happen? Do we finally pull a trigger on Awar after selling someone else? Who knows at this point? I think I'd rather him out of those other
This is
two
how
names.
I feel. I don't want the cash for McKennie. I want the swap deal with Tottenham. If that doesn't happen,
I get Awar.
We keep the play. Well, I don't think we can.
I take cash for Awar if it was doable.
If it was doable.
That's
but
my
I don't
best
think it's
interest.
doable, and I think we're going to see Weston McKennie for another year.
And I'm okay with, and guys, I'm totally okay with that too. I think he could score some goals under Max.
That too.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that too. Dave, before we wrap this up, is there anything else you'd want to get to? I'm looking on Twitter right now to see if there's any breaking news coming out that we missed, Dave. Anything?
There's nothing. No, there's nothing breaking. There was just this.
What do you got for me, buddy?
I put out a tweet earlier. I wanted to ask the question. I wanted to ask the question.
Why don't you read your own tweet?
Because between me and everyone here, I'm not the first one to think this. So I wanted to write it. I'm a small guy, so obviously I'm not having thousands of interactions. So I wrote, if and when Cristiano Ronaldo does leave Juventus, either now for PSG or next year at the end of his contract, how many of you will still be here supporting Juventus?
We got
some interesting comments. Got some interesting comments here.
I really enjoyed having Ronaldo around, and I hope he stays because he's the best. But there's been something less romantic about Juve since he joined. Part of me looks forward to Juve without Ronaldo again. I got to tell you, Dave, that sounds...
We have good comments here.
That's because our followers and our fans are probably the most intelligent in this whole community, most rational in this whole community. Giving him a like live on the podcast.
You know why?
Our
Because
boy
he wrote that
in the USA. Shout out to you, my good friend.
He must have wrote that while we were getting ready for the podcast.
Yep.
Selecchio, obviously, Grande Portugal. So they are now we're now his Italian team.
Let's see what he has to say.
He said that we're now his Italian team. I want to go quick. I want to get to, there's a bunch. I want to get to a couple. So here saw players like Del Piero and Nedved leave the club. Ronaldo's departure won't break my heart as much as the other two. I can respect that as well.
Trini Juve,
Trini Juve, yeah.
That's
the $1 million question.
Big up, Sam.
That's the $1 million question. As much as I'm happy that we've gained a lot of new supporters, we all know as soon as he departs, they'll exit the stage at the same speed, like in a mass migration. I think some of them will hang around, but yes, there will be.
Some of them will hang around, yes.
At least 3/4 of them will unfortunately be going, and that it is what it is, guys. There's one that I really wanted to see here, though. Here's one of my buddies here. I was here before arriving, and we'll be here after him. But there's one guy that I do want to see. Give me a second here. Sorry, there's a lot of comments.
God is the greatest. Please don't tell me God is the greatest.
No, Chris was good. Saw players like Zidane, Del Piero, Buffon leave 2 times, and that hurt both of those times. For me personally, I love Buffon. Saw them get relegated because of a story that Merda fans created. Juve is the sum of its parts, not one player. If Ronaldo wants to leave, all the best. My love for Juve is eternal. I feel the exact same way, but there's one special one I want to get to. Give me 1 second. Let me get there. All these guys are legends. You're all legends here. Give me another 2 seconds because this is the one I really respected. Seriously, to be fair,
this is a fanboy. This is a fanboy.
But this is the one, the
respectable
kind of fanboys
respectable
that I
fanboy.
Have love for. Seriously,
yeah. not like the fanboy I kicked out of the chat today. This is a respectable fanboy.
King Hisby, much respect to you. Seriously, to be fair, I only support CR7 because I'm not even a football fan. I followed football just because of him. When he leaves, maybe I'll leave football. And I said that's okay. You're allowed to. And like I just said, I really respect this type of fanboy. We had another one come here and polluted somewhere. Here, big ups, 37 years. So we had another fanboy come and really, really pollute the chat. And those are the ones that I would like to just grab. You know when you see in like a cartoon, someone pick someone up by the back of their pants and literally kick them in the ass out the door.
Yep.
I would love to do it to those types of Ronaldo fans. But the one we saw here, big ups to Hisby. He only follows football because of Ronaldo, and he's honest, and I totally respect what he said. I appreciate that he wrote that.
And thank you to everyone in the chat that responded. That was just so cool today. I loved seeing it. Me and Dave love reading your comments. I think that's a segment we actually
have a good
do
group chat, guys,
where we will ask more questions and get more answers, and we will reveal them on the show.
No, you could share your answers here, share your opinions too, and it always gets the discussions going, which is great. This is a talk show, right, guys?
Okay, so we got the Empoli game Saturday, which we both predict a big win for Juve. Maybe we come back with a podcast, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll see, folks. We're not too sure yet. Always stay tuned.
Beginning of the week, usually.
Beginning of the week, always. Stay tuned to Max Statman. We will have all your Mercato-related information. Turn on the notifications. When it breaks, we have admins all over the world ready to give that information directly to you. So turn on notifications. David Bruno, any final words before we go?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It was fun. Can't wait to be back. See you again. Hoping to see a big win. Adam said 4-0 against Empoli. I could see that definitely happening. I said that if Ronaldo is still included in the team, he scores a brace if he starts that game.
4-0 and a goal from Locatelli.
I think Chiesa starts the game and gets a goal too.
Chiesa gets a goal, Locatelli gets a goal. How about that?
I'll be really happy with that. And actually, I got my new kit. Adam had his on. Adam had his on. Adam was wearing. There we go. Adam wore his on the last podcast, so it was my turn today.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. This is the one I like the most out of all of them.
Beautiful. Okay, so I guess we'll see you all next week here on the Max Statman podcast.
Forza Juve, guys.
Alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao, guys.
Have a good one. Take care.